Are you ready to tell your mind you are the one in charge? Hi, Awakened One. This is Raina Maida Chang, spiritual teacher, ascension guide, Akashic record consultant, and energy healer. If you're new here, welcome. So happy to be on this journey with you. And if you keep coming back here, thank you all so much. It means the world to us. So like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and leave me a comment. I would love to be able to say hi to you and be here with you on your path. We are all here to really shed these old layers, shed the old armor that we've been holding on to so we can be ready for this beautiful 2025, the beginning of some really exciting times. My guides have been sharing with me all this fun, exciting things that are on the pike for us. We got to get rid of the old. So much is happening in the world right now. Many of it is being reported and spread through the media. I'm here to remind you to not allow your mind and your fear to take over your being. What happens here is your ego, your mind wants to be in charge. And sometimes when the ego is in charge, it brings in emotions like fear, anxiety, worry. It is said to be the part that remembers, evaluates, and plans, and is responsive to the surrounding physical and social world. So your ego is really important because you need it to bring up emotions based on what has happened in your past, to support us in situations, to prevent us from being hurt, from abuse, from experiences that were traumatic for us in our childhood. And it protected you in situations you needed to be protected. And it also has become the foundation of your thought processes, of your perceptions, of your view of the world. And when you're younger, those feelings, those emotions, those situations that gets stuck in your energetic centers, your chakras, along with your auric field, in your DNA, in your cells, doesn't know how to be stable. The ego is very much extreme. And majority of those feelings can be, for most people I've worked with, anxiety, fear, stress. All those feelings, those lower vibration emotions will be at the front and center because ego needs to be needed. So for example, if you've been in a situation where you were hurt or you were mistreated, your ego is going to remember that so that in the next time there's a situation that's similar, your ego is going to be like, oh my gosh, watch out, be aware. This is something you don't want to do. So then you have more trepidation in that situation. And we can't just tell the ego to beep off because we need our ego. As you get older and your ego has developed and you have an ability to discern things, you don't need to keep the ego there up and present with all those other lower vibration emotions. Because at one point when it completely develops, the ego is able to be changed. It's important that now at this stage of our lives, we can work on it and dissolve the ego because we can have a beautiful relationship with the ego by acknowledging the ego, by saying, hey, I love you. Thank you for protecting me and supporting me and taking care of me when I needed you at those times when I was younger, when I was developing. I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me. But in this situation, I don't need you at the forefront, and I am going to be leading the way with my presence, with me being in this situation, observing it, responding to it, not reacting, because reacting is from the ego component where the ego is like, oh my God, scary, 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 scary situation. Put up your guards. Don't do this. And it doesn't have to be. And that's why we have to tell the ego, hey, ego, I don't need to be afraid of this situation right now. You can stand down. It's okay. And let me be the one to decide if this is a dangerous situation or if it's not. An example of having this fear come out is if a boyfriend is bringing his girlfriend home for the first time to meet his parents, and he's sitting there and he's introducing them. In the back of his mind, he's like, oh my gosh, they're so embarrassed. What if they say this? What if they say that? What if she doesn't like me because my parents are this or my parents are that? Or, oh my gosh, now here comes my brother and he's always loud, and my sister, she's always this. Whatever it is, the fear, that emotion that is running in that person's mind is based on all those past situations and the anticipation of what's going to happen. And his imagination is going. So then the ego is like, oh yeah, this is the situation. Don't do it. Be stressed out. And then that boyfriend standing there with having a little panic attack because he doesn't know what's happening because all these things are happening, right? He doesn't know what to do. You don't have to allow that ego, that emotion that the ego is projecting to you, you don't have to allow it to come to the front and center. You can say, hey, I don't need to have that. What's going to happen is I'm going to be here and I'm going to be present, and then I'm going to address the situation as it comes. And that is very helpful because there are many situations in our lives where the mind is telling us, oh my God, freak out. Or you can say, all right, mind, thank you. I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to be here and I'm going to live this moment. It is an emotion, yes, but we weren't put here to be afraid of everything, to have that deep-rooted fear. That's not why we're here. And the purpose of us being here isn't about fear. It's about living life and experiencing joy. And how do you help someone that constantly has that feeling of fear? For starters, you can just notice you're having fear. Listen, I see you anxiety. I see you fear. I see you stress. It's about honoring the feeling, telling the feeling you don't need it, telling the feeling that your presence is going to be the one leading the way. Your ability to be here right now, to discern what's happening, that is what's going to lead the way. And then you experience the experience that you're having. I know it sounds really simple, but it is really simple. And in that moment, that's what you can do when you have an emotion coming up. If you find that this emotion is coming up over and over and over again in very similar situations, I'm going to invite you to really do the work and delve in deeply to see where and why this feeling is coming up, and really do some meditative work, some journaling, talk to someone, maybe have a guide to help you to understand what the root of it is if you are having trouble journaling it out, because we really want to clear it away so we can dissolve that program of fear or anxiety or stress or worry or whatever it is. That's the beautiful part about it, because remember, the ego is malleable. The ego is changeable. So we can do that at any time. And it does involve you really trying to investigate to find out where the origin of this emotion that your ego is really projecting forward, and you can dismantle it. You can let it go. That's healing. And then once you let go of what is stuck, you can really then live your life with less uncomfortable situations and more peace and harmony and presence. And if you would like a video how to do some meditation and how to help yourself be more present and not let your mind run, here is a video on how to do some meditative work, or how to stop your mind from running so that you can do meditative work. And speaking of meditations, I have a free gift for you. It's called the Spiritual Awakening Kit. It has tools and techniques and meditations to help you on your path and to help you get centered. Because when you are centered, that helps you with your mind. It helps you not allow the ego to take over and run like crazy. It helps you to take deep breaths, find your balance, and then move forward. And it helps you to be grounded. I'm putting it in the description box. I'm sending you a lot of love, peace, harmony, and joy. Bye for now.